Hello there, motherfuckers, and a little follow-up video here to Paige's retirement. So we all know Sasha Banks is responsible for this. You know, got a lot of people posting on my videos saying, oh, I can't blame Sasha Banks. Paige had a bad neck. It was Paige's fault. So are we going to say in the same vein that Stone Cold, you know, his neck, it was his fault that he had to retire? You know, we're blaming wrestlers for their injuries. You know, you guys are the ones who say it all the time in the YWC. They put their bodies on the line. They put their bodies on the line. You know, and the thing is, yes, they do. And I'm not mocking anybody in the YWC for saying that. You're a wrestler. You know going into it, you're probably going to get injured, because in a split second, you know, that could be the difference between health, you know, and a career full of longevity. But most wrestlers do end up getting a couple of injuries, and they will end up being sidelined for, you know, several months or up to a year. I mean, it's happened to everybody. Hogan with his knees, Kevin Nash with his quads. You know, and this is how serious the YWC really takes it. When you think about it, how many jokes people make about Kevin Nash's quads. I mean, what a great community we live in, right? Where we're making fun of people. And I'm not saying that those jokes are not funny and they're not in jest and they're not always mean-spirited. But people in the YWC, they're bloodthirsty. I mean, they're like the fucking Romans in the Colosseum. I want blood. I want more. You know, it's not enough. You know, Seth Rollins, like I said, has killed, like, nearly killed multiple wrestlers in the ring, taken away their livelihoods. I mean, how many more guys is this guy supposed to injure before we say enough is enough already? The guy is a lunatic. So with Sasha Banks, this girl kicks Paige in the back of the head as hard as she can, and, you know, to an unsuspecting opponent being Paige, you know, knowing that she has a bad neck. And the thing is, you know, people are saying, oh, Paige doesn't know how to take the kick. People take kicks like that all the time and they're just fine. You know, and somebody brought up a good point. They don't remember anybody ever taking kicks to the back of the head during the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era. It was rare. Probably the only person I saw doing that was Tajiri. And last time I checked, nobody got injured at the hands of Tajiri. Maybe that's because he was the only Japanese wrestler that was in WWE. Oh, they're racist! No, it might have been that Vince and the rest of management saw that Tajiri was a safe worker and that Tajiri took care of his opponents. It might have been that. I don't know for sure, but that probably does seem like a likelihood, since WWE had a much different mentality nowadays. They used to take care of their stars. But what I'm trying to say is, Sasha Banks, this argument that people are trying to make, didn't know how to take the kick, didn't know how to brace herself for the kick. She didn't know the kick was coming, from what I've been hearing, from what I saw. It seemed like it was just a shot, you know, whatever Paige was doing, taunting the crowd. She is a heel after all. She smacked her in the back of the head. I mean, first of all, why is a face wrestler, a baby face, even kicking people in the back of the head? I mean, this is how consistent characters are here in the WWE. He's a babyface, so why would she do something underhanded like attacking somebody from behind? But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about fake wrestling. We're talking about real fucking life here for a moment. What, you know, why would you kick somebody that hard when the whole point of wrestling is to take care of each other? I said this in the comments of my own video. The two wrestlers are supposed to take care of each other in the ring and try to make it look as believable as possible. Kurt Angle wrestled with a bad neck for years. And for some reason, he only needed minimal surgeries. He got a surgery here and there. But for the most part, he never really had to go away for a very long time. And why was that? Because, you know, you had people that were experienced that he was in the ring with, that actually knew what they were doing. And even people that were inexperienced in the ring still knew how to take care of the guy. When Kurt Angle stepped into the ring with Randy Orton, he'd only been in the ring for about 4 or 5 years, but for some reason, Kurt Angle never got injured at the hands of them. And he had a bad neck. He had a neck that, you know, in some ways was even worse than Paige. What he did to his neck during the 1996 Olympics was pretty fucking serious. And when he says the line, I won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck, it's not some type of tagline. But somehow, this guy managed to get by. And that wasn't because the style was too light or the style was pussy, as a lot of people say. No, the style was still, you know, just as physical as it had ever been. But the thing was, the opponents took care. You know, they didn't just fucking do crazy ass shit, start hitting 40 fucking moves, you know, just to get all their shit in. That's how the mentality is nowadays. I'm not going to take care of my opponents. I got to get these moves in. I got to pop the crowd. I got to get 5 stars on the Meltzer scare. Fuck Meltzer and fuck all these goddamn fucking idiots there in the YWC that all they want is I want more moves. I want crisp moves. Fuck your crisp moves. Take your fucking crispness and shove it up your fucking ass. I am so sick and fucking tired of these people. They don't even care about the lives. You guys, hey, put their bodies on the line. But then when something like this happens, the people are like, oh, who cares? You know, they'll just move on to the next woman and everything. Paige is somebody who put her body on the line, just like all the others. I mean, now it's like fucking Thunderdome. It's like fucking Unchained. Anybody could do anything they want in the WWE, and nobody's held responsible. Seth Rollins should have to answer for ending Sting's career. How come after that many years, Sting's career is ended? He steps in the, you know, he's all fine when he's in TNA, and he even wrestled some young guys when he was in TNA like Samoa Joe. And for some reason, I'll give that to Joe. I'll give that to Samoa Joe. He's a bit more of a safe worker. As much shit as I give Joe, he's 10 times, 100 times safer of a worker than Seth Rollins, because he worked with Sting in TNA, and somehow he stepped in the ring with him multiple times and somehow never injured him. Steps in the ring with Seth Rollins one time and he's fucking injured. What the fuck does that tell you? I'm telling you. These people are unsafe. The current roster, a large majority, are unsafe workers. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to take care of their opponents. Thus, all the injuries. All right, guys. You know, I got to start going to work, so I'm going to have to end the video here. I'm going to be doing another part probably tomorrow, and I'll probably rant on this a little bit more in my Raw review, especially if there's any more developments and you know, that I hear about. Until next time, motherfuckers.